Hey everybody, Shay here. So I missed the Game Awards, but I still want to react to some of the videos, the trailers, the reveals, showcases, whatever the case might be. There's particular content I am looking to react to that I've heard dropped, but I haven't seen anything because I want the reaction here, blind. So let's go. Let's give this a click, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's start this up. Are we starting with
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century,
It's really loud, huh?
as the world was being watched.
Maybe not. Maybe?
Roger, copy. Eagle, Houston, you're a go for landing, over.
Just checking the sound real quick.
Unknown vessel approaching. We need first contact protocols.
Humanity now stands as partners in the galaxy.
Is this what I think it is? Already? I thought... Is Mass Effect? Because I thought I was going to check out that trailer after, because it was missing. No, this isn't Mass Effect. That's a relay.
Is anyone receiving this? We've lost contact.
Really? I mean, it has the colors, right? It has the colors. It has the spirit. But you know what? It can be the music there? Was that a... Oh. Holy smokes. What? This looks great. Oh, they are? Oh, I did not expect that to come first. Oh my god. I hope they take... I had this head cannon. I had this head cannon in my head. Oh, maybe I'll talk about it in a special episode. I'll get into it at this point because I saw enough. That was literally the start of my head cannon. Literally the start. So with that, I have to get this one.
I
heard
faced
this drum.
tyrants and would-be gods.
Please be good.
Seen friends lose life and limb.
Oh, look at this, Barrett.
But there's always someone
Oh, gotta be
bent
him.
on breaking
Narrator.
the world.
Yes. So, new person setting up, break the new world.
It's time for a new hero. No magic hand. No ancient prophecy.
Winter
The
is where I'm
kind of
going.
person they'll never see coming. We've got your back. I've got your back. Demons, dragons,
What?
dark
No.
spawn.
Elf?
Even the Dreadwolf.
That's not a shock. That's not a surprise. It had to go here. Okay.
This is your story.
It's always our story. All of our story. Do it again.
I faced
So
tyrants
this design
and
here
would-be
it
gods.
repeats later on in
Seen
this trailer.
friends lose
Morgan,
life and
you know,
limb.
there's like some feather stuff there.
But there's always someone bent on breaking the world. It's time for a
Creatures.
new
I
hero.
could use like let's go to another country. You know, like I want to go into another area and explore what's
No
possible there.
magic hand.
I'll laugh.
No ancient
This feels like
prophecy.
adventure, like a lot of magic, kind of like
the
all over the
kind
place
of
here,
person
like
they'll
wards
never
and
see
shit. That's
coming.
adventure. I don't know that flying thing was. That.
We've got your back. I've
Guess an
got
elf,
your
but
back.
all armored up like this throws me off.
Demons, dragons, dark spawn. Even the Dreadwolf.
We should spot. Okay, never mind. Oh, that's a wolf. So let's see.
Even the Dreadwolf.
Still doing his murals. We do. It looks like there's two things up against each other, or maybe. I mean, I don't know if one's fake, right? Like that's a Vinter Arlathan, but I mean, you're kind of that's a huge leap of speculation. I don't know what that could be, but I'm suspecting because of the short story
This is your
book that got
story.
released, like it's got to have to be like new regions. We're gonna go and push. We're gonna push into other territories. Cool. Let's see if we get a better shot here. Better image here. That feels clear to me, or I wasn't paying attention before.
Breaking the world.
So that would be a different character that they're highlighting there, even though, okay. So they're two godly characters. It'll be fine. How long do we have to wait? Now, I did hear something about the characters is going to be, I forget what I've heard now. I feel like it was in the last release that it was going to be a little bit more like, they're like, I don't want to say nobodies, but I mean, I feel like I have some memory of something like that. I think that's what he was alluding to, like someone they wouldn't expect, you know. Ooh, Mass Effect. Ooh, Mass Effect. Early years of the 20th century.
Roger, copy. Eagle Houston, you're a go for landing, over.
But it feels like the timelines are a little...
Station. Unknown vessel approaching.
Oh, I should have caught it right there that was Mass Effect.
Protocol.
Humanity now stands as partners in the galaxy.
And that would have been the extra key there. But for me, it was the lighting. It was the blue. Stuff stays destroyed, so we know that they're going to have to decide a path that is actually the canon of... That's the thing. You have to use a little bit of headcanon, or you have to expand on the stuff that we've learned in this trilogy. And in my particular take on it is that there are parallel universes to this IP, because all of our stories matter. They're all important. I think they all exist, and it's just another layer that is part of this IP that they don't need to explore it. But for them to go forward with this particular tale, they have to choose one direction, and we don't know if that's Liara. I'm thinking that's Liara. But we don't know if that's Liara. That could just be another, you know what I mean? It could be like, this could be the 20, 30 years in the future, right? And I guess it would have had to have been the blue choice. It'd have to be the blue choice. It's not the red choice. It has to be the blue choice. And there's a lot of blue going on. So, wait, hold on. How did that work? Blue choice. No, they get controlled. So it'd have to be a red choice? It'd have to be a red choice. Because everything gets destroyed on the red choice. In any case, they're going to have to make a decision. And maybe it's none of those. Maybe it's because, again, if you go on the whole alt-world idea, they can just go, in this particular timeline, this storyline, it's going to be this, which would be the one I would hope. They would keep it at least like the novel continuity. Whatever's in the novels and the comics, that would be the core continuity. And then they make a decision. They say, this particular continuity is this, you know? And then each of us gets to play a shepherd in these multiple timelines. So they could do something to always correct course. I always thought they could correct course with the IP. It's because they're like, oh, you can't do anything after 3. No, you can. They can do something after Mass Effect 3 that didn't have to be Mass Effect Andromeda. It's fine that Andromeda exists because that's just another branch, right, of the IP. And they go somewhere completely different. They could create an entire other series of Andromeda 2, Andromeda 3, etc., right? It's a whole different it's a whole different thing. But this particular thing did not have to stop at 3, because they could just say something else happens. It's this parallel unit. They could just bake that in, and they could commit to it, and they could move forward. Pick one of these things that happen. Pick one, and then just move forward. But they would have to touch on the fact that they'd have to touch on the fact that none of our experiences got thrown out because they choose a direction that picks one of the 3 endings. Our decisions have to still matter, and so I feel like the way they could do that is that there's some, like in the future, with, let's say it's 50 years in the future of whatever decision they pick for the continuity of this. They go, all right, this discovery was made that using this other alpha, because there's an alpha relay that they could did some other, let's see, did they have an omega relay? Sigma relay, infinite relay, Mobius relay. I don't care. They could just pick another Mobius relay, okay? I can't pick activate. And then they go to go, we've discovered this relay that actually goes between time and space, not just skips time and space to get you to different parts of the galaxy. It actually goes between that. And so that could be an angle that the next direction takes, but maybe as soon as they do that, just to confirm that all of our experiences mattered, but now going forward it's like a reboot switch, and maybe that relay gets destroyed, and then you're just in the game. You're in it's a fresh start for Mass Effect. It can happen. I've always thought this. Wish I could have done, I wanted to do this like a series where I would just kind of delve into these other things where I expand upon my own headcanon fanfic ideas, but then go, if this decision were made, then this is how the story could unfold, or the world building could unfold from here, things like that. I did want to play Andromeda just to see how they did it from that perspective, but even just sever that off for a bit, for me to just focus on how could this story have continued. I would have loved to have made a series for that. But anyways, there you go. There's my spiel on it with this one. So both these games are, of course, I'm looking forward to them. I wish we had, it's hard, right? Because I was like, I wish we had dates for both the Mass Effect and the Dragon Age drops here. But it's hard, especially nowadays. You give a date, you got to shift it. You know what I mean? Everyone just piles on you. So it's getting to a point where it's like, you know what? You just don't say a date, and then people wait and they wait and they wait, and that hype just builds up, and it's like this unknown, like how long does the hype build up? Does it build up to the point where it starts overflowing over the pot, and then you gotta, like, you know, like the fire alarm goes off, everything, you gotta like throw the reel it back in, pour it back in. Okay, so I don't know, there's probably that point, but you have to think of it from a developer's perspective, from a publisher's perspective, right? A studio's perspective. You got to go, what's the point? What's the point of even giving people dates? We know we're not in a good position. We would like to be way, way, way more confident before we give a date. And then when they give that date, they go, it's 3 years from now. So 3 years from today, they're going to give us the date that's 3 years from that day. So 6 years from now is when you can expect these games to drop. There, I'm calling it now. 2026. We're going to get these games 2026 or 2027. Especially because of all the stuff that's like the reshuffling that's going on with BioWare. I'm sure it's not nefarious. I'm sure there's nothing crazy going on. People are just like moving on and retired, etc., etc. But the thing is, they have to fill those roles. They got to get these projects moving forward. We know that Anthem is in the works again. They're not just severing that off either. They're gonna put time into Anthem, tweaking that out. So all of these things take time, you know. And that trailer was pretty. Both of those trailers showed us that they developed something that could have worked as a trailer. Might not mean that there might not be no game behind it, but there's at least, you know, people are talking about these IPs. You know, they're some old people on the projects are on these projects. You know, things are moving, right? It's just they're taking a while. Maybe they've realized, BioWare has realized, EA maybe has also realized that too many missteps. Maybe they don't want to kill the company, you know, like maybe they're like, okay, no, we just need to take some time to actually restructure and find out how to go forward and get that fan base excited again, have them help us get that, because people are going to be hyped anyways. There's still a lot of hype over BioWare as fans and stuff like that. The hardcore fans are hardcore fans, even if they're pissed, you know, they're still going to give them another try, you know, but how many times, right? And so I think they don't want to fail. I think EA and BioWare want to be very careful about how they publicize any kind of work or effort or release or anything for these two IPs. So there you go. If you guys enjoyed it, I'll catch you in the next stack of episodes. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, everybody. Peace.